Hello and welcome to Hardman Talks, which is a series of conversations where we discuss some of the latest developments in the business world with experts in our network. My name is Richard Angus, I'm Head of Business Development at Hardman Co. And today we're going to be exploring the world of artificial intelligence, which will be conducted in two parts and chaired by one of our longest standing contacts, Martin Fox. Martin, great to see you again. Over to you to set the scene for part one and introduce our guests, Andy Pardoe and Hugo Pinto.
Richard, thank you ever so much indeed. Now, AI is something that everyone seems to be talking about, whether it's governments, it's big business, it's analysts, and I guess especially the media. And yet AI really now is mainstream. It's estimated that more than $200 billion is being invested in AI this year. And yet there's huge confusion, isn't there, about AI and what it means to us today and how it's likely to change our lives in the future. And if so much is being invested already, what are the opportunities for private investors? Now, these are the issues that we're going to explore today, and I'm delighted to have two outstanding experts to help clarify things for us. First of all, Andy Pardoe, who is Professor of AI at the University of Warwick. He's Chair of the Deep Tech Information Centre and co-founder of AI Venture Flows, which is the first AI seed fund. He also leads an AI consultancy that advises businesses small and large on AI strategy and implementation. We also have Hugo Pinto with us, with a background from IBM, KPMG and Accenture. Hugo is today a leading expert in the fields of digital, data and AI, and is the founder of Human Plus Machine. But let's start the questions, gentlemen. Andy, there are huge claims being made about the impact that AI is going to have. And what is your assessment of these claims, whether it's for businesses or for individuals?
Thank you, Martin. So we've really entered in a truly extraordinary time. Artificial intelligence has moved from very narrow and specialized models to what I call general purpose AI, able to do so many different things. So from writing poetry, marketing strategies, books, and even computer code. This level of general purpose capability is opening the door to many opportunities for businesses of all sizes and across all industry sectors, delivering efficiencies and productivity gains, improving accuracy and quality, as well as deep insights and understanding that was simply not possible before. For individuals, AI is changing the future of work, providing many tools that we can now use to help in both our professional and personal lives.
Okay, can you give some examples of this?
Absolutely. So there's some really wonderful AI for good applications. So for example, using AI vision to help describe the scenes for blind people, detecting when children have fallen into home swimming pools and sounding alarms, and even helping turn text into sign language. In the field of medicine, helping with diagnosis of lung diseases and detecting cancer from X-rays and ultrasound scans, and moving more broadly to understand the properties of proteins by predicting their shape and structure. With generative AI, we can now deliver hyper-personalized marketing and sales communications to customers based on their preferences and previous interactions.
Thanks ever so much. Hugo, let's turn to you now. Your focus, isn't it, is on the practical and commercial side of AI for businesses. So what trends are you seeing today?
Thank you, Martin. So I guess the first big trend that we've seen over the past few years is people have gotten pretty used to actually paying for AI tools for their day-to-day. So that wide variety of tasks is already in our lives on a daily basis, on our devices, in our work software, and any other tool that we can think of. Secondly, this is already having a huge disruptive impact, especially on businesses that are billing by the hour or by the unit. So to be practical, think about professional services and consulting, some clients are starting to ask, why do consulting firms need teams of 5 people working for 3 months to do something that a clever chap with access to a number of LLM tools can do that in a day or in a couple of days? So we're going to have a lot of challenge from more well-informed and well-educated buyers from companies around that. Essentially, and as a summary, we need to think about this as the breakdown of the ultimate barrier of entry, which is access to this technology to change and impact a specific industry or activity.
Interesting. Okay, let's now ask a question of both of you. Obviously, AI is going places, but 25 years ago, we had the tech boom and bust. Is there a danger of that happening with AI, do you think?
So I think that's a really interesting question, Martin, especially as we've already had 2A winters where previously sort of interest in the field of AI sort of faded for a period of time. However, there's a major difference, and despite all the hype around AI at the moment, AI is delivering real value to businesses at scale. So AI is very different now to what it was previously. And we're seeing this sort of general purpose AI capability that is solving a wide range of problems and delivering value across so many different areas.
Definitely, I see two patterns happening in parallel. And first, to answer the question is, I think, both yes and no. So on one side, we have big corporations investing and pouring a lot of resources, like yourself mentioned in the beginning of the podcast. But what they are doing is just incrementally improving the way they do things. And they are facing a lot of barriers in terms of ability of staff and cultural challenges to be able to absorb that much change. In parallel, we have young startups, new companies coming out with revolutionary concepts that operate at a fraction of the cost and much more nimbler than those big competitors. So I guess winter being uncertainty, definitely yes, but there will be a reckoning in the next few years.
Okay, thanks for that. Now, my last question for this part of the program, why should investors start looking at investing in AI now, as opposed to holding off? So I'd love your views on that.
Yes, it's a great question. And I think we need to look at sort of where AI is now and what's happened over the last few years. So when ChatGPT first came out in November 22, we saw an explosion of huge investment in these large language models and what they call sort of foundational models. So there's been billions of pounds invested in developing these sort of really core technologies that can now be used by the masses. And I think that's where the opportunity is now for investors, because we're seeing a huge number of AI startups leveraging those billions of pounds of investment in the foundational models and actually turning those sort of general capabilities into very targeted vertical applications that are truly solving real world problems and adding value in the area that they're working in. So I think it's a great opportunity for investors to put money into those sort of AI startups that are solving the real world problems, and that's where the true value is in solving those problems, rather than just the more generic sort of building a sort of large language model.
Thanks very much. Do you want to add to that at all, Hugo?
Yeah, absolutely. I will simply say I believe the next Googles, Amazons, and Facebooks are probably already being trialed by a small company or group of people somewhere in the world. And they're probably looking for investment and to help to validate their product and scale. So I guess it's a huge opportunity, and that is the AI opportunity right now.
That's terrific. Can I thank you both for your contribution today? And I look forward to seeing you with Programme 2 in the future. Over to you, Richard.
So thank you, gentlemen, for concluding part 1 on such a positive note. I hope our audience found the discussion very useful and interesting and are looking forward to part 2. Just one final comment from me, that obviously any comments made by our speakers are from a personal basis. There is no intention to offer investment advice to any of our viewers, but I'm sure we're all aware of the rules on that. So thank you for your participation, and we look forward to part 2. Thank you.